Lamar just officially began round 2. And it seems like this is not the only thing that Kendrick Lamar is doing, with one of Kendrick's childhood friends tweeting out that this is only a teaser and it only begins here. But does it really only begin here? Let's talk about it. Of course, this all started just a few weeks ago when Drake was talking about we will win game 2, implying that he was ready for more war when it came to the Compton rapper. And though some people took it as round 2 being beyond Kendrick Lamar and being more about the industry itself, it's clear that Kendrick Lamar knew what Drake was getting at. Because when the halftime Super Bowl headliner got announced, Kendrick Lamar would take a very obvious shot at Drake.
You know there's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round 2s. Let's get it.
And everybody seemed to notice what the diss was. And on top of the announcement of the first rapper ever to headline a Super Bowl being made, it's been a very loud week for hip-hop. However, I feel like most people thought that we wouldn't hear anything about it for a few months. Drake would keep doing the plot twist thing and Kendrick Lamar would stay doing the silent thing. However, it seems as though Kendrick Lamar is on timing today, because on September 11th of 2024, he released the Black Air Force song. I guess I should have mentioned that Kendrick Lamar hasn't titled this song, but yeah, we got a brand new track from Kendrick Lamar, and he doesn't only take aim at Drake, he takes aim at the reactions from the camp that supported Drake, I guess. Think of it as an extension of Sit 16 in LA. It doesn't have the crazy hooks or even the crazy disses that some of the other tracks had, but what it did have is a lot of bars to dissect, because depending on how you see this, Kendrick Lamar could either be closing the chapter of the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, which I don't think is happening, or Kendrick Lamar is officially beginning round 2. And what a round 2 could mean for the industry, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and more importantly, my sleep schedule is very, very important. So let's just figure out what the untitled 9/11 song could mean. Firstly, let's talk about the cover, because as far as we know, it should have no significance, right? I mean, after all, it's a fucking listing from eBay. Like, Kendrick Lamar just looked up Black Air Forces and picked the first photo he found, most likely. But for those who will remember, back in the baby stages of the beef, Drake released a song called Push-Ups with a size 7 shoe label on the cover. So perhaps the cover just has a little bit more meaning than what we thought it would have, or it's just a joke about Black Force energy and whatever. Now, a lot of people have been debating whether or not the song is actually about Drake, because compared to the other disses he has made, this one just doesn't seem direct at all. I mean, factually speaking, Kendrick Lamar has been talking about catching direct flights when it comes to sneak dissing and whatnot. So is this track actually aimed at Drake? Well, if you ask me, of course. Why? What? Wouldn't it? It's aimed at Drake. And not only Drake, but the industry that supported Drake. Two things could be true. But before we get into how it's about Drake, let's talk about Academic. Yeah, somebody lying. I can see the vibes on that. Even he looking compromised. Let's peel the layers back. Now, that was back in Sit 16 in LA. And it's this very bar that he references in this Black Air Force fucking track that I don't know what to call. I'll call it the 9/11 track going forward. By the way, I would appreciate a sub, you know, just trying to make a thing happen over here. We're very close to 48,000 subscribers, and I would very much appreciate it. Now, let me get back to the video. The radio personality pushing the propaganda for salary, let me know when they turn up as a casualty. Now, if you ask academics, this isn't a diss at him because he's not a radio personality. Technically, he's not on the radio, but we know what Kendrick is trying to get at, right? Like, I don't even know what radio DJ he could be going at right now, like Funk Flex. And you gotta remember too that nobody has been riding harder for Drake than academics. And even the academics Twitter account has literally been posting propaganda. And I don't think this is Kendrick Lamar saying that DJ Academics is going to be a casualty. I just think this is Kendrick Lamar predicting that he is going to be one based on how he acts. But with the academics out of the way, let's just talk about what we're all here for. Is this a track aimed at Drake? I think the most obvious diss directed at Drake is this one right here.
No more pillow talking, jump starting neighborhood wars.
Now, of course, you could say that that could apply to anyone, but notoriously, there has been a notorious rap battle involving Drake, whose major point of contention came from pillow talking. And furthermore, he also says dirty macking because your spirit is insecure, which is definitely something that's aimed at Drake. Like, let's be honest, Drake has always been a person that doesn't care about women's relationships, or for that reason, the men that are with the women. And many of the enemies that Drake has gained time and time again happen because of this very fact. Drake's ego puts him in that position where everyone hates him because he keeps fucking with everyone in everyone's relationship. That's what he has shown to be. And Kendrick Lamar is calling this out. And you might think, well, why would Kendrick Lamar do this? He already won the beef. He said no round twos. Like, I understand it if it was at the Super Bowl, right? Because he has to play Not Like Us or make reference to it. But I think there's a very obvious answer as to why he's doing this. He tells you in like the first few bars of this track.
Even kill the killers cause they like taking innocent lives. Burn a whole village, we start over. It's really that time.
We even kill the killers because they taking innocent lives. Burn the whole village, we start over. It's really that time. And though this seems like a very obvious bar, I want to draw a parallel between war and hip-hop war, because when war is truly over, it's not like people just stop shooting for no reason. Both armies keep fighting, and oftentimes the end of the war could be some of its most violent days. But it is definitely a thing that happens for several reasons, and sometimes it just boils down to cleaning up the city or the village or the country or whatever it is that the war is being fought on. And when you really hear what Kendrick Lamar is saying, that is what Kendrick Lamar is thinking. He doesn't want to keep fighting this war. He really does believe that there will be no round two, but he also believes that there needs some cleaning to be done, starting with Drake, his whole party, academics, and his whole brand of journalism, the way influencers look at hip-hop and music in general, and the mentality that the industry has that makes these rappers end up drugged up, in jail, in trouble, bankrupt, and all these things that keep on happening to our beloved rappers. And in the eyes of Kendrick Lamar, we just need to destroy hip-hop in order to build it up. It's essentially the fuck it, we gotta go bald type thing, but on a grander scale, right? And this is what Kendrick Lamar wants to be achieved. Will it be achieved? I would say probably not, but you know, it's a very cool goal to have. At least I think so. I don't know. So will this be a round two? It could be, but it also may not be. I guess it will just have to depend on Drake and Kendrick Lamar and the people around them. Do they want to continue? I don't know. But I do know one thing though. I will be here, regardless of what happens. I do think there will be a single tonight, but I don't know if it will be directed at Drake or not. But I guess we'll see. And with that being said, so, pretty interesting, huh? I didn't think more stuff was gonna happen, but it happened, and I will be here, sacrificing my sleep schedule. I have classes in 8 hours, and I gotta record and edit this video. So pray for me, and if you're watching this, leave a like, subscribe. Shout out to Jay Dilla, shout out to me, shout out to Kendrick, shout out to y'all, shout out to God. Did I already shout God? Shout out to God again. Shout out to Jesus too. Anyways, yeah.